Good morning, my Blockbreaker friends. I'm a little out of breath and a little red in the face because I'm actually coming to you today from my gym parking lot. Usually my trainer and I meet on Tuesday and Thursday mornings, and I just do my own solo workouts the rest of that time. But he had to reschedule our Tuesday to Monday this week, which I did, and then I thought, oh my goodness, I have a lesson in my Blockbreakers group at 7 in the morning on Monday, and so we whipped through our workout, and you guys are getting your weekly Blockbreakers writing lesson right here from the parking lot of my gym. And so I changed what our lesson was going to be today. Those of you who've been following, we were planning to do seasonal writing today, but because I'm coming to you from my gym parking lot, I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to do a lesson on experiential writing, the participating or doing portion of experiential writing. And experiential writing has a little bit of a history to it. And let me fill you in. I did a lot of co-writing for many years. One of the people that I co-wrote with was the all-time largest weight loss winner on the show Extreme Weight Loss. Used to be with Christopher and Heidi Powell and my good friend Bob Brenner. We wrote his book together called Live an Extreme Life. And part of that whole process was we had to talk about what it took for him to lose the 250 some pounds that he lost. And so I actually had him take me through one of his workouts. And the reason I did that is because as a writer, even though I understood fitness from my own perspective, as a writer, I was not able to appreciate the way that his workouts felt. And mind you, it was never going to feel exactly the same because I was experiencing those workouts as my body, which was much smaller than his was when he had begun. But it helped me to understand what parts of his body were moving. Where did he feel a burn? What aspects of the workout were more difficult? How did it feel listening to his workout coach? And I carried that continuation of experiencing what I'm writing on many of my co-writing jobs, because when you are writing about something that you don't have a personal expertise in, then you need to find a way to gain that expertise, or to at least emotionally understand it so that you are able to describe it for your readers. So I was in the radio, I was in the music studio with Steve Palick when I did his book so that I could understand what it looked like when he DJ'd. I visited people's gardens. I am a brown thumb. If you don't know that about me, you just learned something. But I visited people's gardens to understand their love of the soil and their love of plants. Baseball. I did not used to be a baseball fan before I had to edit a baseball book and really understand. And so that was the origin of my approach called experiential writing. So experiential writing is for anything that it can be an emotional thing, but it's really not meant to be that. These are more about the activities that your characters might be doing and how those activities feel from the inside out and beyond. Those are the three levels we look at. So if there is something, now we're going to talk first about from the perspective of actually participating in or doing the activity. So let's talk about exercise, for instance. So if you are not somebody who likes to lift weights or likes to run or likes to do some of those types of physical activities, you might not really understand how that makes your body feel. I am not a runner. I like weights. I hate running. So when I think about going running, I'm like, okay, well, now I'm going to actually have to concentrate. And the three levels, like I said, that you concentrate on in experiential writing, this is for any activity that's being done, is you go from the inside to the surface to the beyond. So from the inside, if you are running, I want you to take notes. And you can do this, by the way, just run down the block and back. Feel it. You can take notes on how that feels. And the running could be, okay, I feel the way my heart starts to feel bigger behind the muscles and bones in my body. It actually feels like it's pushing against that. You might feel, especially if you're, closer to 50 than 40, like myself, you might actually feel some of the bones, and it's almost like a squeakiness, like in your knees and in your hips. You might feel some of that, the way the bones are bending in your body. You might feel your diaphragm as it's like lifting and filling, and so I want you to really, really think about it. So experiencing is doing an activity and really deeply think about what is happening in your body as you are doing that thing in your body. So that's that deepest level, is the in. The next level is the surface level. So think about how your surface of your body is feeling while this is happening. So if you're running outdoors, you might feel the breeze against you, and that's actually a little bit relieving from the heat. Or maybe you're running in the sun, and you can feel the sun baking down on you. You might feel the sweat start to beat up on your skin. If you are Irish like me, you will feel the red moving into your face and cheeks. I will tell you, when I run, people often ask me, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yep, I'm just Irish." So think about that surface level. What are you feeling? So inside to the surface, and now you're going to go beyond. So what do you feel on the outside? And this is where we start to get into some of that sensory stuff that we talked about in week 1. I want you to really feel what's going on around you. Are there other people? Is there traffic? Is there busyness? But I want this to kind of be on a broad surface level, like what's going on the outside. So that's that third level. So experiential writing is taking an activity, feel it on the inside, feel it on the surface, and put it in place around in what its surroundings are. So there's those 3 aspects. And then you go back to all 3 of those things and you think about our sensory experiences. So what sort of sights and sounds and whatnot can you put to that? So for instance, when I talked about the bones, I might almost think about okay, it feels like it's squeaking like an old bike chain. And so you're actually kind of getting a little bit symbolic and metaphorical here. So experiential writing is going to take you deepest inside, on the surface, to the surroundings, and then you're going to go back and you're going to add whatever sensory experiences you have. And that is the participating or doing approach to experiential writing. Now, where this gets interesting is when you change up the experience. So now let's talk about painting. Now you're doing a very, very different thing. It's literally like you've gone from sports to the arts. But still, your body is moving in a certain way when you paint. You are then on the surface. You might feel the dryness of the paint that hits your skin and it dries on your skin. You're going to have more sensory experiences because you're going to maybe smell the paint. You're going to obviously see what you're painting. Your surroundings are going to be a little bit different. You need to understand both the kinetic experience and the human connection to it. You're going to draw some metaphors. And again, for experiential writing, move from that inside to the outside. But the big takeaway is that you should be experiencing life. Because here's the thing, if we're wanting to write dynamic characters, if we're going to want to write diverse characters and varied characters, those characters are going to have different life experiences. So the more experiences that you can bring to them as a writer, the more likely you are going to be. I'm just turning so that this poor woman here who's getting into her car does not have to feel like she's in our video. So the more experiences that you can bring to your writing, the more likely that you're going to be able to relate to more readers. So experiential writing, this has been our second Blockbreaker lesson. We're going to still have our writing sprint on Wednesday, but I'm glad you joined me. I will be writing this up just like I did last week and posting it in the group with that great write-up, which is also a downloadable that has the write-out, the example, and a practice page for yourself. Hope you guys practice a little bit of experiential writing. We will be coming back to this one later in the year when we talk about it from an observation perspective rather than a participation perspective. So I look forward to you joining me then. Have a great day. I gotta go get myself some electrolytes.